Group Coach Nation is in the house, and I get to tell you all about it. What's up, FlowChat fam? Chris here, co-founder and CEO of FlowChat.com, and we are always talking to real entrepreneurs that are getting real results. In fact, today's entrepreneur is someone that we sought out and that we were learning from for a while and catapulted us down this whole rabbit hole of FlowChat.com. So you can thank today's guest. It's his fault that all this came about, and I'd love to introduce you to him so you can learn from him just like we got to learn from him. We still are. Chris, how's it going, man?
What's up, Chris? It's going awesome. So that roller coaster thing at the beginning, I get motion sick so easy in a car. I like close my eyes. Like,
Don't look. Well,
yeah. So quick story here, everybody. We were doing what y'all are doing in FlowChat on this ridiculously huge spreadsheet, and a full-time person just running a spreadsheet. And then Chris and Sean on the FlowChat team were like, "Hey, we got a better way. Software is a thing." I'm like, oh, dang, that's a great idea.
That sounds cool. Yes, this was so we got to everyone listening, watching. We jumped into Chris's program, and I'm gonna extract some of the awesome things that we got to learn throughout the journey, and stay tuned for some of the newer things that he's seeing, the new trends. This guy's always on the up and up of what's going on. You're gonna want to hear what he has to share today, especially towards the end. But we did just what he said. We were jumped in, we were learning from him, we were following the process. This is so many clicks and so crazy. We also wanted to get off that roller coaster. And so it inspired us to build FlowChat.com. So thank you for that, Chris.
Oh, thank you for taking our spreadsheet away from us.
Yes. All right. So here's where we get to focus on today. There's this umbrella of high ticket. Yes, it's still happening in the market, but there's some new trends that are taking place. How do you extract just the best clients for your business? How do you pivot or maybe add your value ladder? These are questions that Chris has solved. And not only has solved, he's been split testing all different types of ways. I'm personally curious to hear how he's solved them. And so, Chris, this is what we get to dive into. Where do you think we should start with this?
Let's just give an overview for everybody first. And then obviously, wherever you're watching this, if you have questions or comments or thoughts, write them down, message, whatever you want. If we can answer them, we will. If Chris and his team can, they will. Let's just get to real stuff. If you're watching this for entertainment, please stop. Netflix is better. If you're watching this to take action, let's go. So here's what we do. Chris knows this, but for all the rest of you, Group Coach Nation, we help and advise on high-ticket group coaching programs and masterminds. So people building large group coaching programs and masterminds. Now, over the past couple of years, and throughout different economic cycles, there's stuff that happens with how coaching is received, how information is sold, what the prices are like, how long the courses or materials or programs should be. There's all these moving parts, right? Of how long this is going to take and how much you're going to charge and what you're going to deliver. And that's what I'd love to jump into today, because I want you to see real trends and how to decide which direction you should go. Should you lower your prices? Should you simplify your offering? Should you increase your prices? What are you after? And what do you want out of it is a really important thing. So let's get into all that. Is that cool, Chris?
Absolutely. Let's go, dude. I'm fired up. I've got my notebook actually ready. I literally am going to take notes while I'm listening to you.
Yes, and I have my iPad here. I have so many notes on my iPad. Oh, dang, it's just a blank screen. So let's...
It doesn't seem like you're taking any notes, Chris. Is that... Just kidding.
Let's do this. First up, let's talk about group coaching program or mastermind. Let me define those two and separate out a little bit. A mastermind is typically something long-term. People join a community, they stay in there, they want to stay for a long time. And it's a truly collection of experts who are sharing ideas and helping each other get better. All right. Once you put a coach or an expert in that place, and now there's a curriculum, step-by-step processes we're following while we're in that group, that's when it becomes more of a group coaching program. I know a lot of people call those masterminds, but those are group coaching programs. I don't care what you call it, just helping for terms for today. Anytime you show up, all of you awesome, freaking cool geniuses, anytime you show up in person on camera, on a Zoom call, if it takes your real time on the calendar, it is now a high ticket situation. All right. If it's an e-course and you don't have to be there, it can be lower ticket, but you better not be exchanging your hours for dollars. All right. For low dollars in particular. If you show up, make it scalable and make it high ticket. That'd be masterminds or group coaching. Let's define high ticket. I'm putting some boxes around what we're talking about here. Anything north of, depends on when we're talking about this, Anything north of 5K is technically where most people say high ticket starts in the coaching space, particularly if you're coaching individuals, one-on-one, small businesses. All right, if you're coaching large corporations, you can have multi-million-dollar coaching gigs. Now, 5K is not a lot of money, folks. It's just not. But when you cross over that 5K mark, a lot of people struggle to sell something in an automated way, like clicking on a funnel, watching a video, and spending money. You can kind of do that with webinars and stuff on 3K offers. It's a little harder when you get to 5K. 10K, definitely harder. So somewhere in that 5 to 10K range is when it becomes a higher ticket offer because of the way the sales process goes, not because of how much money it is. It's a really critical thing when you're building out offers. You have to get leads. Thank you, FlowChat. You have to convert those leads into meaningful conversations. Thank you, FlowChat. Those people have to buy. So at some point, there's a price point where your market will say, I can't do this in an automated way. I want to talk to somebody on the team or the coach or the expert or whatever. That's where the line crosses to be high ticket. That's what I'm defining as high ticket today. So far, so good?
I love it, Chris. This is great.
Do I need to clarify anything so far, Chris?
No, I think one thing that's worth highlighting or mentioning is having high ticket to define the terms. Here's the amount that we're talking about. What I'm excited to continue to hear is on that sales process, the different models that you've tested and what has worked. I feel this coming, but I'm excited to hear more about those parts.
Yep, let's get into it. So you might say, Chris, look, 25K is where it starts meaningful high ticket numbers for me. Great. If it's $1 million, if that's what means high ticket for you, great. What is it for you in your market? There's lots of markets and there's lots of different price points. But the point is, where is it for you in your market? Fill in the blank with that number. Now, right now, in time, and I think it doesn't matter what date you're watching this, there's always something going on. We always have it's summer, it's winter, it's Christmas, it's the election season, there's a war, there's a pandemic, you name it. The world's changing, folks, and it kind of always has been. So let's talk to humans where they are now. We have to have an offer that really reaches, and Chris, you and I have talked about these things so many times in the past, their dreams, drains, and doubts. What is that market's dream? What do they actually want to change their life or their business, their kids, their family, their relationships, their health, their wealth, whatever it is? What is it that they desperately want, and why do they want it? I want more money. Good for you. Why? Because I want to buy a bigger house. Good for you. Why? Because I got kids. Good for you. What are you going to do with those kids in a bigger house? Well, I want them to have a better school opportunity also. Good for you. Why? So they can grow up and be awesome people. Whatever. Keep asking why. So you want your dream is really representing a lot of what's going on with your kids, let's say. That's why they want what you got. It's not because they just need more money. So dream. Why do they want what they want? Your offer has to represent that. Drain and doubts. These are the things that keep people from their dreams. So think about it this way. Drains are external issues, things that are draining and sucking the life out of us, keeping us from something, things that we can blame someone or something else for. Doubts are the things that are inside us that are sucking the life out of us. Our own fears, insecurities, imposter syndromes, things like that we blame ourselves for. So we need to clearly define, you got this market, you have a prospect, they have a dream. Markets have very consistent dream patterns. We're humans, a lot of us have the same goals in life. We want to be healthy, we want to have relationships, we want to have the resources and time we need. What's keeping your market, your prospects, externally, things they can blame others for, and internally, things they can blame themselves for? What's keeping them from accomplishing that dream? If your offer, your coaching program, mastermind, whatever it is, if your thing helps them overcome the drains and doubts and gets that dream, you're going to make money. Take a deep breath. It's going to be all right. How much are you going to charge for it? That's kind of what we're getting to here. You're going to charge whatever it's worth to the client or prospect, not how much you think you're worth, but what that solution is worth. The blood, sweat, tears, and years it takes to get to that dream that you have shortcuts for because you've already done it. You can just point right. That's what it's worth. Time, energy, real resources, 100 more clients this year, a healed relationship, better health, a longer life, those are worth something. That's what your offer is worth. Now, if that's a high ticket number, because it's actually worth that, don't back off. Own it. That's what it's worth. Your job now is just simply to help that client, that prospect, figure out how are they going to afford getting what they want, because they want it and they're not willing to pay the price of doing it themselves or figuring it out on their own.
Can we hang here for just for a second, Chris?
Yes, stop me
Because
anytime.
there's something called the ignorance tax, and I have paid this tax. Everyone pays this tax in one way or another, right? I think it's important when we're talking to prospects, and you're articulating this really well, is anyone we talk to, any prospect we talk to, they will pay with time and with money. Any path they choose, they're going to pay with time and money. The question is how much time and how much money and which path are they going to. Now, listen, sometimes our solutions that we're bringing to the market are going to be the best option. They will choose us, and they will end up spending, hopefully, less time and less money and have higher value choosing our path. Ideally, they're going to choose the path that costs them the least amount of time and the least amount of money. But this is all important in the context. And so the question I wanted to hang on and throw back at you here, because you're so good at defining term, but also really evaluating value and letting that just stand and be clearly understood. I think there's a lot of people listening, watching, that don't know how to define value as well as you. This is something that you helped us with, right? Define value the way you do, and then communicate and share that value and let the person just understand. Let me be more practical. When somebody's sharing a mouse, it's like, oh, the close is coming, and it's like, that'll be 25 grand. And it's like, I'm sorry, well, we have a special, and it did, okay, you just pay me $2,000. Not that it always goes that far, that sell that quick, but it's like, there's the nerves, or I got a discount, or you really don't. If we really define and really sit in the value and really understand it, both sides win. On the one side, it's easier to understand and be excited about and purchase. But on the other side, Chris, what you're describing, how I think about all the founders, all the business owners that are creating this product or service and building this business, and they've lost before they even started because they're solving a problem that isn't worth enough for them to even want to do the thing in the first place. What you're describing for someone just starting is exactly the message they need to hear. What you're describing is perfect for the person that's the midway or further into their business cycle. This is the thing, focusing on the value first, the offer first of what you're describing. So, okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm already talking way too much. Chris, you're defining high ticket and the value. How do you sit in that space when it comes time to talking with the prospect and communicating that and not backing down?
This is so good. Let me just use FlowChat as an example here, because you're all FlowChat clients like we are, or if you're not, why not? What the heck are you doing? So here's the FlowChat thing. I know how much it costs to have a team member run prospecting on organic channels at volume. Done it. Awesome. Love it. Love that organic prospecting. I know how much it costs to manage the processes we built. I also know how much FlowChat costs. I can't win that race. I can't figure out a way to beat FlowChat, right? The value is there. They've solved the problem for me and my team, and they've created so much value that why would you not do this? That's a very straightforward connection. I'm going to get leads. I'm going to get them organically. That's part of our business model. What am I going to pay in time or dollars to do it? I love the way you express that. So defining that value is so important. You have to look and say, what is this actually worth the client? When Chris Baden says, what is it worth to Chris Williams to have FlowChat figure this out and do it for him? He knows this is how much time it costs. This is how much the staffing costs. This is how much effort it is. Oh my gosh, you're right. And I'm sure not going to go out and build software. I got a coaching business to run. Just do it. You're awesome at. Let somebody else do the rest. Chris has figured out that value. You all need to figure out what is your value to the problem you're solving, to the client you're with. When they get the result they want, what are they going to pay to get it with you? And what are they going to pay to get it without you? Just make sure what they're going to pay to get it without you is more than what you're charging them, and it'll work. And all you got to do after that is just show up and be committed to helping them get their stuff done. That's it. And that's super fun. If it's in a group setting, it's super fun. We talk trends about, should I add a low ticket? Should I add a high? Some of you have low tickets, some of you have high tickets, and should you add the other? We talk about that?
Let's go. What are you seeing, Chris? What's happening now?
Anytime, I've been in business for a little while. All right. So I've been through the 2008 housing bubble. I had a financial advisory and wealth management firm back then. We sold it in 2012 once everything came back up. Then we've been through this whole pandemic thing. Remember that? And then there's political cycles and there's blah. Anytime people get scared about what's happening out there, or they think I'm scared for me, then it makes them feel like they're scared for everybody else. Well, if I'm
Mm.
scared, everybody else is scared. If that's true or not, it doesn't matter. Let's just park it there. If you're scared of what's going on with politics, that the holidays are coming and you can't sell, that there's something going on in the world that keeps you from selling, if that's your fear, own it. It's yours. Don't assume it's somebody else's, number one. And don't make a knee jerk reaction with your pricing and your programs and your offers that are connected to your fear. You're not the one selling to you. You need to go find your own coach for mindset and hire that coach. That's what you should be doing. But what you should be doing for your clients is helping them overcome it. So let's use something simple. Let's say it's the summer in the Northern Hemisphere and you're selling to people in the Northern Hemisphere. Cool. And you think, I can't do this and my clients can't sell because everybody's going on holiday and vacations. If that's real or not, it doesn't matter. We have so many people join our programs in the summer. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm going on vacation, holiday, I can't work right now. And some people are like, yes, finally, I've got some space in the summer. There's people who are doing everything all the time. So I want to just anchor this. Don't let your knee-jerk reaction be lower prices and adding a ton more of your time. I'll throw in some one-on-one sessions and I'll do this and that and all these things just because you feel like you're in a pinch. Figure out, here's something I learned a long time ago, Chris. If that's where I'm at, I got to figure out what is it about me, my drains and my doubts, and I got to solve that problem. And when I figure out how to
Mm.
solve, I got to overcome the summer sales slump, if that's a thing. I got to figure it out for me. And as soon as I figure it out, I got to show it to my clients and teach them how to do it. What's the thing you're figured out? Teach somebody how to do it. And I guess I'm going down this path, Chris, because I see people, there's nothing wrong with adding a lower or higher ticket to your offer. I see people drop prices and add more stuff that takes their time because of fear in their own heart, not because it's the right thing for their books, their market, or even the client who's paying. Lowering the bar for clients actually allows clients to not take the processes seriously and not do the work. And that's something as a coach you have to remember, that we can't lower the barrier to entry to a point where people won't do the work, because then they'll be ticked they spent $1,000 instead of 10,000 or 100,000. When if they had spent 10,000 or 100,000, they would have been like gulp, and then they would have gotten the work done and they would have gotten results.
This is so good. As you're describing this, an example of parenting is coming to mind. My kids are still younger, 7, 6, and 3 right now. And so there's times where they think they have this great idea, but it is an absolute horrendous idea. It could be as simple as, you know what, Dad? Not brushing my teeth tonight is the way to go. And I'm like, if you break the habit now, it's not even about keeping your, yes, it keeps your teeth clean, but it's more about consistently keeping your teeth clean. It's more about the habit almost more than just your teeth being clean this particular night. And so, Dad, I got this great idea. I'm just going to compromise. I'm just going to skip just this one night. It'll be fine. No, it won't be fine. Because, so if, as a parent, if I back down, hopefully this is so simple that everyone hears what you're saying and I'm echoing. If I back down, everybody loses. Now, my child is going to go this direction, live it. And you know what? This is just one habit. That how you do things is how you do everything. And so when it comes to doing laundry or any other skill building, oh, I'll just break down here. That's a whole culture now. Now, I get Chris, it doesn't always pan out that way. Listen, not most of the time, but you'd be surprised. And so what you're describing with your clients, when we back down with our clients, not only do we lose, but so do they. And I think that's
Yeah.
just important for founders, business owners to highlight what you're saying. You do such a good job, not only at holding the value and just letting people feel it and experience like this is the level we're going to play at. You're calling, it's not just a financial thing, it's a mental thing, it's an emotional thing. You're inviting people into a higher standard. And you challenge us to do this, you challenge other people in your program to do this in Group Coach Nation. Gosh, what is that? There's that study. You probably saw the study where it's like A top players, high performers, and A players versus B or C players.
No, keep going.
This is it's such a cool point for everyone to hear. If you are in proximity, goes to the value of what Chris is talking about in the group, surrounding yourself in groups and providing environments and creating environments. So this is what Chris is saying, but you listening, watching, this is what you like the value you can communicate to further sell. When you surround yourself with A players, you will perform 15% better. So if you're making 100 grand a year, you'll immediately just start making $115,000 a year. If you surround yourself with B or C players, I'm saying proximity in terms of the frequency of what you consume and listen to content, or proximity of being around those people. You're hearing what they're saying and how they're thinking, right? But B or C, this isn't fair. The B or C players, if you're in proximity, you will perform 30% worse. If you were making
Oh,
100 grand, you'll now only make 70 grand. So who you say it's the average of the five people around you? It's more like you're the average of the five people that you consume the most of, because we're so content driven in today's world. So Chris, you're a master at this, and you're a master at helping others form groups in this way and holding a higher standard and not backing down. And it does that result. Hopefully, I don't know which way. Just it's a top corner. One of those.
it goes up.
Anyway, you keep pushing buttons over here and sending me on soapboxes, but I'm passionate about what you're talking about because it's personally benefited me, and you're so good at articulating and helping, not only executing, but helping other people execute on this. So Chris, where do we go from here? We can hold the value for high ticket, and there's going to be those cases where people say yes and they see it and they're invited into that higher level, but there's times where we can tell where they're at in their customer journey. They just don't have the money. It's actually just not quite the right fit. So where does that fit within the sales process?
Super great question. Here's what I do, one of two things. And again, we teach hundreds of people through our group coach nation process for whatever it is. So we see lots of these trial and error processes. I'm giving you guys, this is what works. In every industry we see, this is what works. Two ways to go. One is, I don't help you with that, but I know someone who can help you get past stage 1 or 2
Mm,
or 3, so you can join me in stage 2 or 3 or 4. So if you're talking to a prospect and you can't help them, but somebody else can help them step up, find a referral partner who does that earlier stage, hand it to them and say, when you go and accomplish XYZ, this much revenue, this many hours saved, this much relational work, whatever with that person, that's when you come back to me. And then I make a connection to that person and just send them a note and just let them know, hey, I'm referring you to so-and-so. So it's Chris, I mean, we do this all the time. I send you a client or a lead and I'm like, three-way Facebook message or whatever. Like, so y'all talk, when you get this sorted, come back to me. I think that's
so
really
good.
important. I think it's also really honest, Chris, like just one of the two ways. I think it's honest though, and you can speak to this too if you want. Like, we show up ever on camera. If I show up right now and say that I'm freaking amazing at every single thing that's possible out there in the coaching genre, that's just BS. I'm really good at helping people with high ticket coaching offers and mastermind builds. I'm not good at everything else. I'm not an organic lead gen master. That's you guys.
Yeah.
Like, be honest. People know if it's not honest, so shoot them straight.
It's so good. That one's fun. Your ability to focus and like calendar was blah before meeting you, and now it's organized and colorful. I know we were joking about, oh, I helped you like color your calendar, but like it's funny. But the reality is like organize my focus and my thinking, and that's what actually changed my life. And so there's a pattern and a process for it. And so you're good at these things. I don't want to lose the thought. You were just sharing
That
for
phase two
being
is phase one is like to somebody else who's better at that stage. Yeah.
it allows you to focus. And if I can share one short story that people probably won't know is one of your in a past business model. So Group Coach Nation, I know is rocking and kicking on right now, but he applies this over and over and over again. You can put Chris Williams anywhere and he's going to win. The story that he shared with me ago was that he focused on one specific area service, right? I think it was somewhere in like S or PPC or both. It was somewhere over there as an agency. Okay, so he's focused here, but he was
Mm-hmm.
so focused. He had a specific person that he served, and then he finds who's really good at it, just upsells it, and has the competitor do all the work. I was like, mother trucker is amazing. Like he is so focused. and he doesn't even have to be the best at it, but he finds the best at it and brings everyone together, has all of the time and all of the upside. I was like, so this is why I want to be best friend. Chris, if you wear a green polo shirt, I'm gonna wear a green polo shirt. I'm just making fun. I just
I'll
know this
get
is
you one with
how.
a logo like this. I'll
There
send
we
it
go.
right
Okay,
over
I'm
here.
just missing the. Okay, changing my name to Chris. I'm wearing a green polo. It's like this guy's amazing.
Tom, before you change your name to Chris, it was great, but I'm
Yeah,
super glad you.
exactly. So, okay, so this is number one. Your ability to focus and execute gives you time and freedom, unlike any other entrepreneur I've ever met. Usually, what do you hear? Oh, it's so crazy. Oh my gosh, I got this. Chris is like, oh yeah, can't. I'm leaving. Actually, after this, I'm going to be gone for 4 weeks. I'm just plugging it. No, things will keep running, and he's an excellent at focusing and systems. All right. Number two, Chris. I'm curious.
Okay. Number one is get some referral partners, hand off the business you shouldn't be doing. And yes, a little quick soapbox on this. I divide our prospects in my mind in three different categories. All right. There's the people that we can help.
Yeah.
Yay. The people we can't help yet, but maybe soon. And we keep nurturing them, right? Okay. There's the people we can't help yet, maybe never, or maybe they need to get some work done somewhere else. Every one of those, we do our darndest to refer them to
Mm,
somebody else in our network.
mm,
I've worked really hard to get those prospects in the door. I had to freaking pay for FlowChat and have a team member help me. You better believe I want to get some value out of those prospects. So I'm going to refer them to somebody else and see if there's some kind of affiliate or JV or something like that we can work out. Like, you've done work. And now this prospect is in front
mhm.
of you. And they're saying, I have a problem. And you're saying, that's not my gig, but I know whose it is. Go make that exchange happen. You're helping everybody on the planet keep the ecosystem running. Okay. Way to do this. It's real simple. Figure out likely you have I'm just going to make something up here. You got a 6-month group coaching program you're building. All right. You're going to help people do all this cool stuff in their life, their business for 6 months, and they're going to pay you, pick a number, $25,000 to be in it. Cool. Yeah. They talk to 10 people a week, 2 a week can buy that. And there's 2 others a week who can't buy it. All right. 4 people a week who you close, 2 of them are there, 2 are not. The rest you're referring out or nurturing in some way. The 2 that you close that just need to be able to afford $25,000 and get some traction, have a little 4-week long process that they can join in for like 2,500,
Mm,
something like that, 10-20% of the total value of the big show. Let them do the thing and then credit whatever they've spent towards the big mastermind. Now, here's the secret about this little thing. It has to be something you can run very, very efficiently, either e-course driven or some sort of 2 calls during the month that's a group setting with some e-course curriculum, workbooks, whatever, something simple that gets them traction. So, for instance, in my world, let's say somebody's like, Chris, I want to come figure out how to build a bigger group coaching model than we already have and doing tons of one-on-one work or done for you or whatever. Like, and we're like, awesome. Here's our program. It's $1 billion. Okay. Chris, I don't have $1 billion right now. If I can help you figure out how to start getting on some sort of cycle where you can invest in the bazillion by helping you go get 5 more one-on-one clients just to get cash flow up and running, then that's a good play. It is
yeah.
so freaking easy for me and my team to help somebody get 5 clients. We've been doing that in our sleep for years. It's harder for me to teach that person to build a scalable group coaching program. But if they
Mm,
have 5 fresh clients, they can afford a VA, they can buy the systems they need, and they can get to work. So if you want to give them a bridge to get started, make sure it's in your zone of genius and it's a scalable delivery model. And then that could be your low ticket offer. But the low ticket offer is meant to help someone buy your high ticket offer. There has to be an ascension model built in, and you're only offering low ticket so they can join the grown-up table and move from the kids table to the grown-up table.
what was this so good? So when you're saying this, I'm seeing myself in a sales conversation. I'm seeing myself communicating with the prospect, and we get to everyone understands everything, and we're getting to the end, and offers presented, and they're thinking about it, and they're like, I just can't. You can tell that it's just not quite there. And so we say something like, hey, if we were to wave a magic wand, there's $1 million in your bank account, and so money wasn't a thing, and it was easy to spend the money. Is there anything else that would get in your way from succeeding, or moving forward? Like that type of thing. You're trying to work through and get to the real objection. Well, I really just need, like, if I had more clients, like what you're describing, you're like, Then, like, what's would equal this being easy? It's like, if I had this, everyone listening, watching, you shared the example of, I'm going to help them get 5 clients because then they're going to have the money to get the VA and to get the tools, and then they're going to be ready for the big show. So I'm like going to the place in the sales conversation of, oh, this is where I say it. Like, this is roughly where I would this and execute on this. And
Mhm.
hopefully for people listening, watching, that takes you to your sales processes and you're like, oh, well, people are always asking about Z, and that's the answer of what Chris is describing. That's coming to mind. Okay, so it becomes your low ticket offer. In terms, some best practices, you said things got to be systematized. So it's like a course, but people could go through. But we know that the um, activation of using and implementing is low. So I think you started to talk about a group model or a group call. How would you, run that?
Yeah. Again, high ticket and low ticket. Let's just get in three real broad categories. The lowest ticket offer any of you should ever produce is something where you don't show up for it. Okay. That is a low ticket offer by definition. If you show up, it costs more money. Anytime I can leave YouTube and podcasts and books and ask the real expert, how does this apply to me right now?
Mm,
That's worth real money. Oh
that's
my
awesome.
gosh.
That's
Books
awesome.
cost $15 for a reason. Hiring the author to come hang out at your house for an hour over dinner and really solve your problems, that costs a lot more.
That's such a good example. I really hope someone catches that right now.
Yeah, I'm in love with 10x is easier than 2x, right? I'm on my seventh read. I'm 7 times into it. I hardly ever read a book twice. If I could get Ben Hardy to show up at my dinner table and just be like, dude, let's just talk shop. For like 300 maybe, but it ain't
Yeah.
going to be for the
Yeah.
$15. Yeah.
It's
So
so true.
that's your gig. That's your low ticket. Here's the thing though. It's a lot of people have read 10x is easier than 2x. I know I feel like I'm going to sound like saying, oh, sorry. Just like I'm going to sound like a really horrible person saying this. You can believe that. You
Nope.
grown ups
We're
out here,
all,
it's
this
like
is
doing watching this anyway.
great. Oh, you
You're
mean
such a
the
boring
ones
kid.
with the pop eating pop watch it?
Go play with your friends. Okay.
Headphones for cover. We're good.
I'm in the 1% category of people who will read 10x is easier than 2x and do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because that books work. Okay. We read them, we consume them, we go to the next one. How many books can I read this quarter? I'm going to change my life. That doesn't change your life. Doing what's in the freaking book is what changes your life. So pick one, do the work, get the results. Okay. That's your ticket offer. The second you show up on a group call setting, to get back to your question, Chris, the second you show up for a group call setting, a one-on-one or whatever, let's talk groups first. That's when the value truly that you're delivering goes way up. That value is really important to capture. So if I got a $1,500 e-course of how to go get your next 5 consulting clients, then it's going to be like a $500 or $7,500. Hey, we have this group process for 30 to 45 days that includes 3 group calls every other week or whatever. And I can put those group calls on autopilot and have one of my team members, a head coach or someone on my team, go and do those sessions and actually get people real results. But if you want Chris Williams, you got to go to the bazillion dollar club. Okay.
It's got a ring to
And
it.
then let's take it a step farther for all of you. If you're going to show up one on one with somebody in person or on Zoom, the VIP day, as people love to call it, your signature offer, woohoo, whatever. If you're going to show up, that needs to be 10 times as much as your group, because truly it is so freaking hard to show up for one person when you could have shown up for 10 people. You should charge 10 times the number, because it's not that hard to get 10 people in a Zoom room and change their lives. So get paid for what you could have been doing with that full day of your life or whatever it is. You could fill up a Zoom room with 10 paying clients. You
Yeah.
can do this. So charge for it. What you're missing out on. The moment any of us say yes, I love this. I use this all the time in my own life and make decisions this way. The moment I say yes is the moment I've said no to a lot of other things.
So good. Yeah.
I'll be here in town today. Chris asked me when I was at coffee. He's a great guy. Is AB. So AB, if you're watching this, this is nothing personal. You get the analogy. He saw me at Starbucks after a workout, and I was hanging out with my brother-in-law. We work out twice a week, and we go to Starbucks to celebrate our workout every Monday and Thursday.
That's great.
I'm sitting out there chilling for like an hour and a half. I got my dog out there on the porch. We're just having fun at Starbucks, right? And this guy's like, he messages me later and he's like, hey man, can we have a time to go to Starbucks? We'd love to pick your brain on some stuff. And I pointed him towards a more systematic and structured way to do it, even though I've known this guy for 10 years, because
Yeah.
I have that kind of space for very few people. The moment I say, yes, I can cross town for AB is the moment I get in my car and I drive 15 minutes each way. That's 30 minutes of no's that I'm dishing out in my life when I could have done a 30-minute Zoom call with AB and gotten the same results for him. He needs the value, and he's been a friend, so I'm happy to give it because he's an awesome guy. But nobody wins being in the car,
Yeah.
whoever's
Yeah.
the fuel. So
Yeah.
I'll have to say, everything you do when you show up and burn real minutes of your life, the one you only have one of, that thing, make sure that you're getting paid for it.
Man, that's I love how you perceive time and money and value. It always comes back to value. I think the way that you articulate value, the way you view value, is to none, and it inspires and encourages me. Because the reality is, I'm at where I'm at because of my current views of time and money and the value that that is. If I knew how to cash flow $10 million like net after every year, if I knew how to do that, I would do that. I'm pretty sure everyone else would do that too. But why am I not doing it? Because I don't know how. My perception of value, and as I'm growing, down the path, I mean, yeah, you're just one of those people that challenge me and encourage me to go that direction. So I appreciate that. And for everyone else that's listening and watching right now, also appreciating that, where is the best place for them to find you?
Two things. If there's anything special we're doing, like we have an event coming up or something like that, we'll send it to Chris and his team, and they can put a link down below. But in general, just Google Group Coach Nation. GroupCoachNation.com is our website. Group Coach Nation, Google that, you'll find us. We're easy to find. Tons of reach out to us and ask questions. We always tell people this: don't just go consume content. Again, watch Netflix if that's your jam. I promise you, you'll be. If you actually are trying to do something and build a scalable coaching program or mastermind, reach out, ask a question. I have an awesome team. They will answer your question or point you to something you can actually do. And that's what's really going to move the needle for you.
I thought it was Hermosi that was articulating this. There's so much of his content everywhere, but like if you do something one way and then you still do it the same way, you've learned nothing. But if you do something, and then after you learn something, you do it a different way, that's how you know you something. That's how you know you've So for people that are ready to actually learn from you and what you're doing, I thought, like you're saying, the link that we have around this piece of content, that you've put together a special like format, and can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, and I love this. Again, Group Coach Nation, you'd think, we do groups. Well, we do. So there's no way to get on a one-on-one call with me or something like that on our team. We do it in groups. So we have an event coming up, Mastermind Mastery Live is what you're talking about. We also do events on a weekly basis where we let everybody get in a room together who's interested in figuring this out. And we just answer questions, find out what you're trying to accomplish. If we can help you, we will. If we can't, we point you to somebody else in our network who can. It's not that hard, guys. What I want you to do is right now, if you've spent this much time watching, obviously you're trying to figure this out. Or else you're just an expert who's grading me if I know what I'm talking about, which is totally cool. Please send me a grade. Would love to know what you think. But if you've watched this far into this, take action. Like, join one of our calls and we don't a sales call. Join one of our calls. Let us point you in the right direction. If we can help you, we'll tell you straight up. And if we can't, we'll point you to who you should talk to next.
And I would highly recommend doing all that, because what I can promise is you're going to learn something. You've already got a sense of what you will learn and how you'll learn from Chris. And I'm still to this day still learning from him. And so, Chris, I appreciate you so much for coming out today and spending time with our audience.
You guys are all freaking rock stars. You have an expertise that somebody else desperately needs. We just got to figure out how to monetize that and get it in front of them.
That's it, man. I appreciate you so much. Hey, and I appreciate you listening and watching to our talking to real entrepreneurs that are getting real results. Yeah, there's a lot of misconception out there, different thoughts, and people that waste a ton of time. But we've been in this space for a really long time, building out our network. And the ones that are actually moving the needles, we know revenue's growing and we know impact is taking place around them. These are the people that we like to be around. We know that I'm assuming you want to be around as well. And so you can expect that content and more. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys the next time. Take care.